Our next one on the application, that's our third example on application, profit and loss. Profit and loss. And we know what profit means and loss means, and we do this in the basic school. Yeah, you have a little idea. Profit is when you are gaining something, when the selling price of a product is greater than the cost price. So when you are gaining from a business, you are making a profit. With a loss, when you are losing, think that what you are making a loss. So when the cost price is bigger than the selling price, then you are making a big loss. Now, profit occur when the selling price is greater than the cost price. Yes, then I'm getting a profit because I bought a goods for 2,500 Ghana cedi. Then I sell it like 5,000. Then I'm making what? A profit. And loss is when the selling price is less than the cost price. Yes, then you are making a huge loss. The price at which goods are bought are the cost price. So let's take note of this. The price at which goods are bought are what? The cost price at which goods are bought, and the price at which goods are sold are the selling price. So we are still on profit and loss. Now, profit is the selling price minus the cost price, because already the selling price is greater than the cost price. That's what P equals SP minus CP. Good. Then loss is the cost price minus the selling price. Since the cost price becomes huge, then we are making a loss because we buy a goods for 2,500. Then due to depreciation, I have to sell it like 1,500. Then we are making loss. So the cost price minus the selling price. Profit and loss percent. So profit and loss percent can be expressed as percentage of the cost price. That's the cost price is being calculated as that the profit percent being calculated as profit out of the cost price times 100. That's the profit percent. So if you want to get a profit percent, is the profit out of the cost price times 100. Then the loss percent is the loss out of the cost price times 100. So we can put like this. We know that profit is selling price minus the cost price. So this can be in the form of this. Okay, maybe the question, we may give you the selling price, ask you to find what's the profit. Then the loss also can be further be like this, because loss is cost price minus the selling price. Yes, you have a huge idea on this. So we have the other formula. Yes. Now we know the profit and profit percent. That is the only formula you have to know. Profit and profit percent, loss and loss percent. You are good to go. With the remaining formulas, you can develop from there. Or if you want, then you can know all the formula from your textbook. Now, cool, you have about 10 formulas. If you want to know all, no problem. So in a question, they may give you profit percent and the selling price. Ask you to find the cost price, that's the CP. So from this idea, we know that profit percent is profit out of CP times the 100%, or is the SP minus the CP out of the CP times 100%. So from here, let's make the CP the subject. From here, we just multiply both sides by what? The CP. Let's get rid of the CP, then we get this. So you just multiply both sides by the CP. That's why we have this. You multiply here by CP, so that we move the denominator. You multiply here by CP. Good. So you see, it goes. Then you have this. You have this. Very good. So now we have this. What should we do? We are looking for the cost price, and there's a cost price here. So for this, we have to multiply through by 100 so that to make the work easier. If multiply through by 100, multiply this, move the bracket by multiply here by 100, here by 100, just move the bracket. So 100 times the SP, you had 100 SP, 100 times negative CP here for negative 100 CP. Good. So we just remove the brackets. Okay. And this idea is from the algebraic expression and the factorization and those things. Okay. So now we are looking for the CP. Why not move the CP here? So we add 100 CP on both sides. Okay. Or your master will say that move the 100 to here, then you change to what? Positive. Good. So you left with what? 100 SP. So we just move this 100 CP across the equal sign, then we change to a positive. That's what the matcher will say. Okay, it's like you add 100 on both sides. Just 100, add 100 CP on both sides. Then this will go. Okay, good. So now we have this. I have CP here, CP here. So we use the idea of factorization. You factorize the CP out, then I left with what? P% and plus 100. Okay, percent of plus 100. So now things have become a little bit easier. I'm looking for the CP. What should I do? I have to divide both sides by this. Then, so you divide both sides by the whole of P%, okay, plus 100. Divide both sides by that equals, you are here the same thing, so that the P% will cancel. So you get this. So if you divide both sides by the 100%, then it will go. You had this, you get this. Okay, let me clean my board nicely. So therefore, our cost price is this. So let's make it nice. Then this is the form of find the cost price when given the sales price and not the profit percent. Next one, to find the selling price when given the cost price and the profit percent. So the same idea. I'll multiply both sides by the CP so that I'll get this. Then here it's a little bit easier. I'm looking for only the selling price. It's only the selling price that is here. Okay, so I'm just looking for the selling price, this one. So there's no need for me to multiply 2 by 100. I can do that. You wish I can do that. I'll divide both sides by the 100. Then I'll move the cost price. So divide both sides by the 100 to get rid of the 100 here. Okay, so this 100 will cancel. Good. So therefore, I will get this. I'm just looking for the selling price. So why not add both sides by CP? Add both sides by CP. Then I'll add here 2 by CP. Okay. So negative CP plus CP go to 0. That's what you say that you move the CP across or the equal sign, then turn to a positive. Okay. So I'll get this. So therefore, my CP, my SP is what? CP plus this. So for me to find SP when given the profit percent and the cost price, this is the formula I will use. So you have to know all this formula off head, or you can deduce it like the way I was doing it. So we are still on profit and loss, and we are developing the remaining formulas. We are done with the profit percent when given the SP and the CP. So this one is loss. We have to find the cost price when given the SP and the loss. So let's make the cost price the subject here. Yes. So I'll just multiply both sides by the CP. Then I will get this. Then there's a CP here, CP here. There's a CP here, CP here. So if I divide both sides by 100, so I'll find a little bit difficult. So therefore, I have to multiply through by the 100. Yes. So I just remove the bracket, multiply here by 100, not through, multiply just here by 100. So to just remove the bracket. So therefore, there's a CP here, a CP here. So I have to group items. So I'll maintain the CP. Then I'll move CP times loss here. Then it become negative. Then I'll move SP here. Okay, good. Yes, then turn to positive. Good. So I just change it. and just grouping like terms. Okay, just grouping like terms. Yes. Now there's a CP, there's a CP, so I just do factorization. So this, I maintain this, must factorize CP out, then have this. I'm looking for CP. I do both side by the one in the brackets, so that it will get rough. So do both side by this. Therefore, our CP is this. Let's make it nice, and this is our CP when given the loss and the selling price. Last formula, when given the SP, when we are asked to find the selling price, when given the CP and the loss, multiply both sides by the CP, you will get this. Then I'm just looking for SP. So simple. I'll just divide both sides by 100. So I will not multiply through like the way I did here. I just divide both sides by 100. Someone asks why? Because they only the SP that I'm looking for. Okay. The other way around, there's a CP that's a multiply through. So divide both sides by 100. Then I'll get this. Divide both sides by 100, you get this. I'm looking for SP. So for us to maintain this, I will just group items. So I'll move the SP here, then I'll move the whole of this through here. SP is already negative, so I'll move according to the equal sign to become positive. Then I'll move the whole of this here, then to become what? Negative. So that you will get this. Yes. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Good. So therefore, let's make it nice. So this is when you are asked to find the selling price when given the cost price and the loss. And your cost price and the loss. So please know these formulas. Since we are moving further, we may need them. I will not go through. I'll just go the formula since we know how to deduce the formula. Subscribe to Snapfellows, my YouTube channel. Share the video for your friends to also benefit some. So now let's solve an example. Since we know the meaning of profit and loss, and we know the cost price, the selling price, and the other formulas, then it's very easy to solve questions. Mr. Mensah bought some oranges at 240 Ghana cedi and sold them for 300 Ghana cedi. Find her profit. So the person bought it and then go and sold it. Hey, the person got enough profit too. Good. So for profit, we know that is the selling price minus the cost price. And our cost price is 240 and our selling price is what? 300. That's what Mr. Mensah bought. Okay, that's there. But so for us to get a profit, the selling price minus what? The cost price. And therefore, the profit is what? 60 Ghana cedi. Very simple. A radio which costs 118 Ghana cedi was sold for 96 Ghana cedi. Find the profit or loss. So here they are asked to find the profit or loss. They don't know whether the person is making loss or making profit. A radio which cost this. So the person bought a radio for 118 Ghana cedi and was sold for 96. Oh, well, lose some big time. Okay, the person have loss, so there's a loss. Okay, don't mind me. There's a loss. So mean that we are finding the loss rather, and therefore this is the cost price, this is the selling price. So since the cost price is greater than the selling price, then our loss is this. Good. That's for loss. So with our third example and our profit and loss, wow, a woman trader bought 458 oranges for this amount. That's 5,496 Ghana cedi. Total this. Okay. She kept 62 oranges for her family and sold the rest at 16 Ghana cedi. Calculate the profit, her profit. So the woman bought this for 458 for 5,496 Ghana cedi. Yes. So for us to get one orange, then we have to divide 5,496 by the 458. then I'll get for one orange. So one orange is 12 cedi. That's what it means now, okay? Because if I want to get the 458, I have to multiply it so that. So one orange is 12 cedi. Then the question continues. She kept 62 oranges for her family. Wow. So she kept 62 and sold the rest at this 16 Ghana cedi. What rest the person sold? How many oranges the person sold at 16 Ghana cedi? We don't know. So for us to know the rest of the oranges, since the woman bought 458 oranges, 458 oranges and kept this for the family. For her to know what she sold, you have to deduct, know the true difference between the oranges. So we get subtract this from this. Then we have this 396 oranges. That is what the woman sold. That is sold the rest at 16 Ghana cedi. So mean that we have 396 oranges. Okay. Now, since we know what the woman sold, then say that calculate 1 to 1 decimal place her profit. Now, for us to know the cost price of what the woman sold, yes, so that's 39 oranges are 12 cedi, okay, because one orange is what, 12 cedi. So I have to know the amount of money for this 396. Then I'll get this multiplied by the one orange. Then we get this, because we say that one orange is 12 cedi. How much would be 396 oranges? Yes, it's this, and that will be the cost price. That will be our cost price now, okay? That will be our cost price now, because that's what the woman sold the rest. So the woman sold the rest at what? So this is the cost price. That's what the woman sold. So we want to know the cost price. Then if we want to know the selling price, then the woman sell it at what? 16 Ghana cedi. So yes, so we want to know the total. This is the selling price, okay? The selling price, because every day a trader bought this oranges for this, and it mean that the person bought one was 12 cedi, one was 12 cedi. Then he gave 62 to her family and sold the rest, okay? So we have to know the cost price, then the difference multiplied by what? The 12 cedi. That's what the woman bought for one. That's what the woman bought for one oranges, okay? Then you have to know the selling price. The woman sell it at all 16 Ghana cedi. You have to know what this, that's 396, that's the rest. Then multiplied by the 16 Ghana cedi. So now we know the cost price and the selling price. We can calculate for the profit. So it's the selling price minus the cost price. Therefore, our profit is 1,584 Ghana cedi. 584 Ghana cedi. So this is really application. So you have to read the question very well and understand the question. Another application on profit and loss. This is our fourth example. A man buy eggs at 45 Ghana cedi per crate of 30 eggs. Remember that 30 eggs was what per crate? Yeah, 30 eggs per 45 Ghana cedi. He finds that 20% of the eggs are broken. 20% of the eggs are broken, but sells the rest at 30 Ghana cedi a dozen. Find her profit to the nearest whole number. So you say she want her profit solution. The total of the egg is 30 eggs. That's the total. And the person bought at 45 Ghana cedi. So that's the cost price for 30 eggs. Are we good? Yes. Then they said that he finds that 20% of the eggs are broken. So we have to get 20% of the eggs are broken. Then 20% of the eggs, that's what? The egg is what? 30. So we have 20% of the eggs. So it means that 6. So 20% of the eggs are broken. The meaning that 6 are the one that's broken. So it means that 20%, 6 eggs is broken. That's what the question is trying to tell us. He found that 20% of the eggs are broken. mean that 6x is already. Then, but sell the rest at 30 Ghana cedi a dozen. So you sell the rest at 30 Ghana cedi a dozen. So the rest, now you know that 6 is broken and the total of the egg is 30 cedi. So the rest will be how much? So you have to subtract the 6 egg from the 30. So mean that the rest that she sells is what? 24x. 24x. Then she said it as what? A dozen. Now we know that 1 dozen is 12x. Okay. Yes, 1 dozen. Put on your head. 1 dozen is 12x. Okay. 1 dozen is 12x. Okay, good. So if 1 dozen is 12x, then the 24x will be what? Yes, because the rest is 24. The 1 dozen is 12x. Then 24x will be 2 dozen. Okay, 24x will be 2 dozen. Okay, good. So now 1 dozen is 30 cedi. That's the rest we are talking about. The rest, 1 dozen 30 cedi. Then 2 dozen will be what? 2 times the 30 cedi. That's what? 60 cedi. Yes. So the person said the rest as 24x. Okay. So she sold the rest at 30 cedi a dozen. 30 cedi a dozen. Good. And the rest was 24x. Good. So you say that 12x is for 1 dozen. Now, since we have the rest as 24, then 24 will be for 2 dozen. Okay, so 2 dozen will be how much? If 1 dozen is 30 cedi, 2 dozen will be how much? That's 60 Ghana cedi. 60 Ghana cedi. Good. So for us to get the cost price, so therefore our cost price is 45. That's what the man bought, and our selling price is what? 60 Ghana cedi. Yes, that's what you are looking for. So a man buy X at 45 per crate of X, and he found out 20% of the X are broken. That's why that says, and she sells the rest. So that's the rest that you are finding for. That's the selling price. Okay. So for us to know the rest, without what? The sales from the 30, then we have for 24x. Okay, so the rest 30 cedi a dozen. And know that for 1 dozen is for 12x. Okay, so 24 will be how many dozen? That it will be 2 dozen. Okay, that's what we have done here. And 2 dozen will be for 60 Ghana cedi. So therefore our selling price is 60 Ghana cedi. Then we can find for our profit. Wow. So therefore our profit is selling price minus the cost price, and that is 6 Ghana cedi. 6 Ghana cedi. Then since you know the profit, you can find for the profit percent. Profit percent 35, 60 minus 45 is 15 Ghana cedi rather. 15 Ghana cedi. So therefore our profit percent is the profit out of the cost price times the 100. Okay, and that will be our answer. That's all, 33% for the profit percent. That's a nice question. We are still on profit and loss. Our fifth example. A set of furniture were sold for 300 Ghana cedi at a profit of 20%. Find the cost price and the profit. So the furniture was sold. So we are given the selling price, that's what 300 Ghana cedi, and the profit percent 20%. Find the cost price. So from here, you know that profit percent is profit out of the cost price times 100, and this is it. The profit is selling price minus the cost price. Okay, so we are using this formula. So for us to get the cost price, that's what we did earlier, the video earlier. Good. So you have to make the cost price the subject. So if you make it the subject, you will get this. I did explain this, then I prove it for you earlier for you to know the formula. Good. So now we know the selling price and the profit percent. We can do the substitution. I told you you have to know the formulas or develop the formula from here. I did it. I explained to you earlier the video, so you can go there and revise. That's all, 250 Ghana cedi. So therefore, our profit, so the cost price 250 Ghana cedi, then our profit becomes selling price minus the cost price. Our selling price 300 Ghana cedi minus the 250, then you will get this. A bicycle was bought at 300 Ghana cedi. If it was sold at a profit of 24%, find the selling price of the bicycle. So here too, we are given the cost price and the profit percent. That's a 24%. Okay, that's a 24%. Please watch here. You have 20%. There's no percentage here. Why? Because there's already 100 there. 100 there. So the percentage has already been catered for. So no need for you to say that 20%. Okay. So here too, we know that profit percent is this. That's profit percent. That's profit out of the cost price. And the profit is selling price minus cost price. This is the formula. So from this formula, you make the SP the subject as I did earlier in the previous video. Okay, good. So now we are given the cost price and the profit percent, which is 24. We already have 100 here, so there's no need for us to say that 24%. Please take note. We already have 100, there's no need for us to say 24%. So therefore, our final answer is 372 Ghana cedi. So the next example, and this will be our 7th example. At what price minus item cost, item bought for 350 Ghana cedi to be sold as to incur a loss of 40%. As to incur a loss of 40%. Okay. So here mean that we have the cost price and the loss. We give the cost price and the loss. So I mean that you have to find the selling price. So at what price item bought to be sold as incur loss. So I mean that I find the selling price. You know that loss percent is loss out of the cost price, and loss is cost price minus the selling price. That's why we have this formula. We are looking for the selling price. Let's make the selling price the subject, or you know the formula, you put it down. So now we know the cost and the loss. So let's do the substitution. I told you just bring the 40%, not 40%, just 40. Okay, because we already have 100 in there. So 350 out of 100 minus the 40, we have this 100. Then if you work it, you get what? 210 Ghana cedi. Very simple. A motor dealer make a profit of $54,000 only on sales. So that's only on sales, which is equivalent to 15%. Find the selling price. The person make a profit. So that the profit is what this, and the 50%, and it says we should find the selling price. Okay, so if I make a profit, this I should find the selling price. So the 50% times the sales. Okay, for profit is 50% times the sales. Okay, good. That's my profit now. Because the person make a profit on this, and then which is equivalent to this. So the 50% of the sales is this. So you should find the selling price. Very simple. Okay, good. So profit is 50% of sales. Then make the profit a subject, because now you know the profit, which is what this. So the 15%, after 50%, you will get 60,000 Ghana cedi as the selling price of the car. That's a car, and it's really a nice question. Okay, so profit of 50% of the sales, and that's for that question. And that'll be the end of for the profit and loss. The next application